So, because of unforeseen things, I'll be doing our second video alone, but that's okay, he won't mind. So, I just rewatched my old one and I was talking about placements and people and how they act and where I came from and what I've known and been through. So, we'll just go back to that. So, what I've been through in my life. So, when I was a little girl at 9 years old, I told my father about what my grandfather did to me. And he wasn't quite sure if I was telling the truth or lying because I talk a lot and not a lot of people can believe some of the things that come out of my mouth because my life is like kind of like a movie. Never blamed for that. At 13, I told my mother. So when I told my mother, then the shit hit the fan. And my grandfather was kicked out and went back to New York. We told the police. The police lady who took the report was given all the information, and when she was let go and out of our house within, I guess, a couple days or so, she was murdered. So our case fell through. So when I got to Loxahatchee, where we moved to, I wrote President Clinton a letter about it. When I wrote President Clinton a letter, the Secret Service came to our schools and pulled both me and my sister out. She was young and a little girl and didn't want to remember what had happened to her. So when she did that, she said she didn't want to talk about it. Still don't blame her. That's a harsh thing to relive. So again, nothing happened to him. So he died, never spent any time in prison or jail. But Kim. But his judgment day came when he met the great Lord. So we moved forward. Went through some pretty traumatic things as a teenager, played with drugs, tried to kill myself, do all that crazy shit. Like all teenagers did back in the 90s in Loxahatchee for the most part. It was boring. And then I decided after one night in January of 2000 that I should kind of stick to the safe men and not deal with men who have done drugs or anything, because that would be the better place for me to be. So then I met my ex-husband because he didn't do drugs, he just drank. Alcohol is one of the worst things out there for people. You know that? Like, seriously. I'm not reading anything. I'm doing a video. It's going live on YouTube. Yeah. So, anyway, alcohol is one of the worst things for you. You know why? Because you can black out and not remember a damn thing you fucking did. And you can do some really stupid shit. Some stupid shit can happen to you. But that's okay. It's legal. You can't do that with marijuana. And Xanax is the other one that does that. And you mix those two together, boom, straight portal to jail. Because Xanax is legal, but also should be mixed with alcohol. But guess what? Xanax is an anti-anxiety and an anti-fear medication. Who on God's green earth needs something that's anti-fear? Are you fucking for real? That's a jumped up that's just bull honky. And that's just a way for the government to make money. Because guess what? How many people mix the two and end up in jail? Oh, tons. And how much money do you have to pay out in that to the government? Oh, tons. And it just keeps making more and more criminals, more and more bad people, more and more rape, more and more abuse, more and more everything. Yep. But if you got rid of those two and just smoke pot, oh shit, we'd all be happy. So let's keep going. So I met the alcoholic. Life was good when it was good. It was great. He gave me my son, Bryce. And for that, I will always, forever be thankful. Because he's always been a good father. I'm doing my YouTube video. It's live. No. So, when we did all that, got together, we had Bryce. Some things hit pretty harsh. He had some friends of mine say he did some things, and I stood by him because I was married to him. I was his wife and we had a child together. And why would I take my son's father away from him, right? Why would I be such a cold-hearted person to do that? So I stayed the nice, loyal, happy wife. And then he got off probation and was doing better. And then he started drinking again. And he made this one shirt. And it had an arrow on it. And the arrow pointed up to me when I wore it. And it said, I could fuck up a wet dream. Well, that's pretty fucking harsh, because that's the same thing he told me when our son was 6 weeks old when I tried to help him put our bed together. I asked him what I could do to help him, and he said, Kim, you couldn't help me. I said, what? He goes, Kim, you could fuck up a wet dream. Oh, that's lovely of you. Very lovely of you. You know what his sign is? He's a Sagittarius. His moon is Gemini. His Mercury, I don't remember. And I believe his Venus is Sagittarius and his Mars is Scorpio. Ugh. I don't know full on his whole chart. I could look it up, but not worth it. So anyway, so I got that shirt for Christmas and I said, you know what? Fuck this. I can't do that. I can't be with someone like this. Like, how dare you? That broke my fucking heart. And from that moment on, I didn't give a shit what I did. They're doing great, thank you. I'm still doing one.
Okay. How long are they?
15 minutes plus or long. And then you can upload them.
Okay.
Yep. So I'm working on one.
That one like so whenever you're done.
Okay.
Plays with you.
So once that was done and I decided it was over, I just did whatever I wanted. I never physically cheated. And I told him that I wanted to talk to other people because this just wasn't working for me anymore. And I would not want to have sex with him or do anything because I was just heartbroken and disgusted by the person that I was with and chose to be with. But I just kept it to myself and decided to be his roommate for my son's sake. Which, for the most part, I believe was a big-ass mistake. I should have thought of me back then and taken care of me, which everyone keeps preaching to me now. Take care of you, Kim. Worry about you first, Kim. Well, why wasn't that the big fucking worry back then? Why wasn't that the big fucking worry back when Bryce was 2.5 when Patrick did what he did to Dawn? Why wasn't that such a big worry then? No, I was more worried about Bryce. I should have been more worried about me. And if I was, I wouldn't be right here right now. But there's a reason for everything. And so now I know a lot more about myself and my life path. So it's okay. It's cool. It's all right, Patrick. You're just one part of a big-ass story. So I leave Patrick. I move to Florida. I take Bryce with me. Patrick ends up going, wah, 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 bad father, poor father, pity me. He gets custody of Bryce. Bryce goes to him. I'm heartbroken and dead. I play an online game called INVU, and I meet the next man, which was the previous video, Mr. Aquarius. Changed my life forever. You did some great things for me, Mr. Aquarius. That Venus, Capricorn, and that Aquarius stellium, if they love you, they will protect you. They will provide. They will do everything for you. Believe me, they do. And they will continue to do it even after the fact. Because those two Aquarius with the Venus, Capricorn, because I met 2 of them in my life, still to this day would do anything to help me. And I do appreciate you both very much. That was a wonderful, wonderful relationship at the beginning. It was great. Everything was great. I quit smoking. I didn't drink. I didn't do anything. I was such a good person. I didn't do anything harmful to myself besides eat and gain weight. And then fibromyalgia and everything hit. And I go to the doctor and they said it's because of a trauma. I couldn't figure out why a trauma would affect me at this point. I was in a good relationship. Like, why now? But just recently I read up on the Kundalini awakening, and it takes such a long time for it to happen. But the way it starts, when you research it, it's the same as fibromyalgia and the IBS problems and all those issues I had. And I kept telling all the doctors for the University of Toledo what was wrong. All the symptoms that I was having are all part of the Kundalini awakening. If you just do your research, that's what it is. So I went through the parts with them at the university. I took the medications. I did everything they told me to. And then the medicine they gave me caused neuropathy and horrible problems. And when that happened, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't function. I was on so many different medications. I was on Ambien, muscle relaxers, everything, just to put me to sleep. And when I take them, I'd only sleep for 2 hours and be wide the fuck awake again. And ever since that day, I still can't fucking sleep. The only time I get great sleep is when I'm laying next to Joseph Samaglia, my twin flame. And at that point, in that moment, while he's holding me and we're sleeping, I have no pain in my body whatsoever. Nothing bothers me. Everything is great and I can fucking sleep. And I don't have him right now to even help me. But he will be okay. And I will be too. And everyone thinks he's a bad person, and he's not. He helps me sleep and takes away my pain. He's my dopamine. He's my everything. And he is awakened too. And together we're amazing. I'm sorry. I had to let some of that out. So I did everything they told me to there. And then we'll fast forward because the last video talked about what happened. And I came to Florida and I started learning about twin flames and astrology and placements and And Dawn is the one who showed me all of it. And she's the one who brought it to me in Ohio. And I took it with me to Florida. And I started researching and reading and delved right into, dove head first straight into astrology and started studying Eastern medicine. And I met a great doctor who taught me so much, and so many great people along my path that I've met that have taught me so many great things. And I'm so thankful for everyone who's come into my life and Joe's life that have taught us so many great things. And I'm fully awakened and understand everything that's going on out there, and it's so horrible, from the pedophiles and the corruption of big pharma and our government and agricultural, and everything is just so out of whack and horrible. And I start researching more, and I learn about the 144,000 about light workers and star seeds and indigo children, and I look at the times. The ones who are supposed to be awakened and part of the 144,000, I know one grouping of them is from 1978 to 1988. Well, my birthday is in 1980, and Joe's is 1978, and mine is 6780. And when you look at mine, I'm a 221111 in numerology. I don't remember his. But I feel we've got some magical things. Like both our vertexes are 22 degrees Cancer in the 8th house. How does that even happen? And then my North Node is Leo at 22 degrees. Come on. For real? How is that even possible? And just some of my placements, like my Moon in Aries at the 11th degree, it says, my words, if I speak, think, visualize, it happens. If I see it, it happens. If I speak it, it happens. My Venus in Gemini, 28th degree, that what says God's eye view. I see everything through God's eye view. If you just go to my spiritual healing page on Facebook under Kimmy Allen and read the degree things I put up, it would blow your mind like it blew mine. I put mine and Joe's up there. Sorry, I am in a hotel room and I don't know these people, but they're letting me use their Wi-Fi, so I guess I'll start doing videos from here. I'm posing them. I know I look like shit, y'all, but hey, not too shabby. Yeah, it is pretty shabby. But, oh well. I'm doing what I can for my baby. I really am trying to get everything out there to help my son, myself to heal. Bryce, my boogie, I'm so sorry everything you've been through in life, baby. I wish more than anything I could have you next to me. I wish more than anything I could be back in West Palm Beach at that house with you, with our family. I wish more than anything to have my baby back, to have all the men in my life that I love in my life to be with me. But no one is allowing that to happen. I love you, Daddy, and I love you, Bryce, my boogie, and I love you, Joseph, my twin. One day we'll all be together, I know it. If not here, in front of God, will have it all. This I do know. Until the next video. Goodbye.